And welcome back to the Commanders Replacement Squad series, where we are continuing a win streak. 3 straight wins after 9 straight losses. We're going to be facing a tougher opponent today in the New York Giants. They have some really good players. They also have some positions that definitely need some work, but some really good guys on defense that are really going to contain what we do best, and that is running the ball with the occasional pass. Dexter Lawrence in the middle is really going to force Borghi to maybe have to cut to the outside, maybe a little bit with some more read option. On offense, we're going to have to contain Saquon Barkley. So we'll see if we could do that, and we're really going to need the defense to play well today because we have 2 breakout opportunities, starting with the defensive line. And this one is for Shaka Toney. Coach, I want you to keep an eye on Toney, the defensive lineman. He was a big part of our win last week. I'm not totally sold on him yet. He's our best player for sure. But if he has a repeat performance against the G-Men this week, he might turn out to be very, very special. He's already a star dev, so this would boost him up to a superstar, which means we have to hold the Giants, mostly Saquon Barkley, to less than 75 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown, or Shaka Toney himself will have to have 2 interceptions, forced fumbles, tackles for loss, or sacks. Now, he's definitely had multiple sack games, so it's doable. But we also have one for our DB and J.R. Reed. I can't speak for the rest of the defense, but man, last week, that was the best game I've played this year. That does huge things for this guy's confidence, you know. It's weird he's talking about himself that way. Another game like last week, and man, I'll feel like I've arrived. So what does J.R. Reed need? Hold the Giants to less than 200 passing yards, or he'll have to have an interception, forced fumble, tackle for loss, or sack. So our defense just in general is really going to have to put a stomping down on the Giants offense. The Giants are 5-6, we're 3-9. And it's time for a rivalry match towards the bottom of the NFC East. So let's jump into it. And we'll be receiving to kick this game off. Flowers back to return. He'll catch it at about the 5, so we should be starting with some pretty decent field position. Maybe if we had a little bit better blocking. Now it does look like Borghi is a bit shaken up in this game, so he'll still get out there, no worries there, but we'll probably sprinkle in a bit more of the other running backs as Huntley will get the start here with a gain of 5. And I say a bit shaken up. His player icon is in the yellow, so we're just going to be a little bit more cautious with him. Go with a play action here as they cover most of it pretty well. We're going to step up as Luton is out there and he fumbles. Takes the hit. The offensive lineman didn't react in time. Deaton dives, whiffs, and we finally get the tackle, but after they're into the end zone, it's going to be a scoop and score for McFadden. Honestly, I have no idea why Luton was out there. I can only imagine Madden reset the depth chart. Cone back out there as our actual starting quarterback. Huntley will start us off once again on offense, this time a gain of 4. And after one play, Cone will head to the sideline as we bring out Tyree Jackson here. Going to set up the read option. They keep one guy to the outside, so we'll go ahead and hand this one off, and stuffed in the backfield by Thibodeau. Well, I'd say a pretty sloppy start so far as we have 3rd and 8. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We're going to try to roll out here. We have 1 receiver, but a really good job by Amari Jackson. He gets the INT, trying to find some space, breaks a tackle, and that's 2 turnovers that have immediately turned into points the other way. Just an extremely poor start. Less than 2 minutes have come off the clock. The Giants have not been on offense for 1 single play, and yet they're up 14-0. So already in this game, we have a mountain to climb. As we do bring out Borghi for his first play, patient running will cut down the middle, get a couple yards. Now 3rd and 6, we're going to spread wide here. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. It's honestly the same formation we were just in, but this time it is a pass play as we do have our tight end open, but we missed the throw. We'll have to punt. Well, it's been a pretty bad start already. Offense really hasn't done much at all. Saquon Barkley will get a gain of about 4, actually 5. And again, as a reminder, Shaka Toney has to get 2 sacks, tackles for a loss. He could also get some interceptions and whatnot, but he's a edge guy, and they're actually going to count that as a fumble. Parker picks it up. Okay, maybe we have the ball. I don't know if he was down prior to the hit. We'll take another look here. Pass caught, takes a step, big hit. I think that ball was out. I think we might actually be taking over. Well, no booth review comes in, so we do take over. Okay, first big play made on defense. I don't think it was by any of the guys we needed it to be by, but we'll start with a pass here. Tyree Jackson gonna actually roll out to the right-hand side, try to scramble, get what he can. It'll be a gain of 2. But one thing that quick turnover does do is allows our offense to be out on the field a bit more, which means possible points as we break a Thibodeau tackle. Huntley tried to get back to the line and barely will. But what I was trying to say is that allows our offense to be out on the field, which means that the Giants' offense is not. And that means we're going to keep some points or keep some yards off the board. And that wasn't great, but we have a field goal opportunity at least. It'll be a 54-yarder here for Matt Guinness. Snap back, hold is down, kick is up, and that's headed down the middle, well, slightly to the left. But we will grab some points. Still down 14-3. But at least we're on the board. So Saquon Barkley, less than 75 rushing yards and a touchdown. We also have to hold the passing game to less than 200 as Shaka Toney gets around the edge a little late, but pass hits the turf. And as they come out with an empty set here, now would be a great time to try to get Toney around the edge. He is lined up against a superstar tackle, so work cut out for him as he almost got back there once again. Maybe the finesse moves aren't too great for the offensive lineman as it will bring up a 3rd and 7. And I imagine this will be a passing situation here for the Giants. So let's send up the double A gap blitz, and they do, no, it is actually a pass, and it works out very well. Shepard, who fumbled on the previous drive, keeps this one alive. And with that fresh set of downs coming out in a tight single back set, will be another play action pass. They're going to flood this right-hand side, dump this one off. Quick tackle. Saquon Barkley gets a gain of 2. If we could keep them in passing situations, that could be very good for Toney. Maybe not so much for A.J. Parker. They go with a run to the outside here, and Barkley has some space and a first down gain. Might possibly need to send Parker, or not, that's the other safety, Reed, on some safety blitzes today if he's going to have a shot at making his own dev boost, which would be our second possible third as Potoe hits home, bringing down Danny Dimes for a loss of about 8. And ever since we brought in Potoe, he's been playing really well. It's nice to find someone else who could get to the quarterback besides just Shaka Toney, who comes in about a step too late, and they're actually going to get that first down. Well, almost a really good play. Turns out to be a really bad play. But is that anything new here for this team? Seems to happen quite a bit. They stick into the shotgun. We're staying in the double A gap look, trying to get Toney off the edge, and he's not going to get a tackle for a loss. Number 31, Matt Breida, will get a gain of 2. And that run will send us on into the second quarter. Giants still up 14-3, and they're in plus territory. And we'll start the second out in a base formation here. They're going to go with a pass play to that left-hand side, and they will find one of their tight ends. That is Bellinger. We'll set up a 3rd and short. Sticking out in that 3-4. They have a lot of options here, and there's not a stuff. Will get a gain of 2, but they won't get the first down. So some good, some okay. Mostly the okay being we didn't get the tackle for loss there with Shaka Toney. He's been close a couple times, just hasn't got it yet. Honestly, I don't care if we win this game or not. I would just love the development boosts here for the defensive players. Giants hit the field goal. We'll take another 2-touchdown lead. Now, we haven't been able to run with Tyree Jackson yet, at least in a designed way. He did scramble once earlier. So let's set up the read option here. See if we could get around the edge, which we kind of can. He'll have to cut back in pretty quickly with Jackson sitting nicely on the edge, but will be a gain of 5. And we'll finally bring Borghi back out. We're trying to be cautious with him. I don't want him to get injured today, knock on wood. We have a bye week next week, so we're we're trying to be cautious with him. He gets us a nice gain here, first down. And with a single high safety shaded towards the side of Smart, which is always a smart choice. Go to the outside here, and Cone has just been off today. 0 of 4 and an interception. That's kind of what I was referring to a couple games back when we brought him back out, is we might have to play the hot hand at quarterback. If one of them starts missing a lot of throws, we might have to play the other one. 3rd and 7 here as we come out, 2 receivers either side sitting in the pistol. Only 2 defensive linemen, although they cover it pretty well. We have one of our receivers to the outside. There is Cade Johnson with a first down catch and the first completion for Cone today. We have been trying to get Johnson a little bit more involved, and we've been doing it a little bit with this receiver screen, trying to set it up where we have some blockers to help lead the way for him, and he's done pretty well there, but it actually will be a first down. I was expecting a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, but they give it to us. Let's see if we could set up the running back screen this time. Only one guy out there. We have 3 blockers, so we should be good. Calais with some room. Couldn't quite get that last juke away from 29, but another first down gain. Starting to get things rolling. A big part of it with these lower overall quarterbacks is just finding their rhythm. And if we can do that, it'll definitely open some things up for us. We'll go underneath here, and that pass with the pressure bit off. Pretty unfortunate too, because our receiver was wide open. I'm not sure if it was Jones that was coming underneath, and no whistle. Huntley fell down like 5 minutes after the whistle. Okay, Madden. So we'll have 3rd and 8 down at the 22. We're gonna go with a little bit of a rollout here. Dump this one off. Kalinick will get the catch. He had a block downfield from one of our other tight ends, and that is another first down. We're not getting these first downs by much, but we're getting them, and that's what matters. We'll go the power run to this left-hand side here. Find a block. Huntley tries to power through, and he does split the defenders, but a flag is down. And that will back it up on Deontay Brown. Well, it was a really good play for Huntley. Unfortunately, it will not count. We're going to bring out Tyree Jackson here for a little bit of some read option. Flip this one out late. Huntley try to hit the Jets. He breaks one tackle. He'll get something out of the play. Gain of 5. And on 2nd and 15. We're going to go with a bit of some play action here. Have a couple guys going deep. I don't like it as there is a quick rush by Thibodeau. And it'll be a sack, loss of 8. That sack also sends us inside the 2-minute warning here. We're still trying to find our first touchdown. We've managed a field goal, but not much else, as there's a quick rush down the middle. They sent a DB on a blitz, and now we're going to have to settle for another field goal. This will be another 54-yarder for Matt Guinness. Snap back, kick is up, and that one pretty much right down the middle. We'll get back on the board, but it's not good enough. We're still down 11 points. One thing that might be good, though, is with 1:19 on the clock, I would imagine that they're going to be passing the ball more, so more opportunity if Shaka Toney could get off the block. He just seems to be stuck. No one is getting open until after I say no one's getting open, in which they find a first down to Robinson. But still have to give some major props to the DBs on that play, because they held up for quite a while. We should have gotten a pass rush in time. There's Toney clean off the edge this time, and how did Daniel Jones get that off? That should have been a sack. We made contact before he threw the ball. We're going to have to take a second look at this. So here we are with Shaka Toney coming clean off the edge, and he kind of whiffs a little bit. If anything, he maybe helps Daniel Jones actually throw that ball by spinning him around. Well, isn't that just my luck? And why do I keep telling these DBs to come play press? I need to remember they are not press corner. Shaka Toney this time, another late hit, kind of, almost an interception for J.R. Reed, which would have given him his development boost. Unfortunately, he drops it, so neither him nor Toney have any of the things that they need. Shaka Toney, come on, get there already. No, to the other side. Aneni gets the sack. Still, though, in working favor of Shaka Toney, as they do not get any more rushing yards. They actually punt this one away. They really shouldn't have. Not that you really return a lot of punts here in Madden. Trying to get the edge with Dimitri Flowers. He doesn't. He'll head to the sideline after being shoved out, and we'll head to the locker room for halftime. Well, not the cleanest first halves, more specifically the first 2 drives of offense being turnovers that were points on that same play for the Giants. But since then, a lot of progress. Toney's wreaking havoc back there, but he's just not getting the stats he needs. Speaking of stats, Tannehill, with 3 of 4 for 26 yards and a touchdown, is leading the way here for the Titans, up against the Eagles 13-3. Yeah, so just need to see a little bit more from Shaka Toney and J.R. Reed come the second half. The stats are in our favor, though. Packers, speaking of in favor, up 20 points against the Bears. And for our last studio update, we'll check out the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Falcons. Close game, 14-10, Falcons up 2 seconds before halftime. And the Steelers 1-10, with Pickett throwing 10 of 21, 132 yards and a touchdown. It'll be interesting to see if any of those young quarterbacks may end up on this team. It's a possibility. Some of them are some fairly low overalls, so never know what the future holds for this rebuild, this reset series. But now it's time to get back to work on defense. Again, J.R. Reed has to, well, as well as the rest of the defense, hold the Giants to less than 200 passing yards. We have to hold them to less than 75 rushing yards and a touchdown for Shaka Toney. Or each of those players can get 1 or 2. 1 for J.R. Reed, 2 for Shaka Toney of sack, forced fumble, tackle for loss, interception. As Gemmel, trying to stretch to the outside, will finally bring down Breida. Will be a gain of 16. Or not a gain of 16. He has 16 total yards on the day, as I should have changed to the nickel, but I clicked buttons too quickly. So we're out in the base package as they go deep. A nice catch there from Shepard. He's been pretty much their main target, at least anywhere past 10 yards. I still think we're doing pretty well in terms of passing yards and rushing yards, but they'll be getting pretty close if they keep completing these and having longer drives. 88 with the catch, and it's 94 total passing yards. So we're about at the midway point of what we could allow there, at a little bit past the midway point of the game. We're just going to keep sending Shaka Toney when we can. 88 with the first down catch, gain of 4. And that 88 is Akins. Honestly, not sure who that is. At least off the top of my head, as it goes with a run here. Breida with open spaces. Yeast will chop out the legs inside the 10. And with that run, they might be getting pretty close to what they need for the rushing stats. So we probably will need to get Toney some sacks in this game. Empty set here will be in our favor. Clean off the edge this time, and there's a sack fumble for him. Come on, Toney, go get it. He scoops it up, diving for it. Danny Jones, too slow. Toney headed down the field. He's gassed. Here comes Shepard with the tackle, but we've taken over at the 35. 2.5 sacks for Shaka Toney on the day. His first for a loss, which he scoops up and barely managed to get past the 40. Well, there's one of the stats. He actually kind of goes towards 2 because he needed to force a fumble and he needed sacks. So he has one of each of those. But because of the chances of them getting more yards, at least talking about on offense, I think it would be smart of us to go ahead and start chewing the clock, because we know we're not making it to the postseason this year. But if we could get some games, and that pass was not intended for Seth Williams, but he gets the catch. But yeah, we know we're not headed to the postseason this year, so if we could get some of these players some development boost, I think that's more important. We'll continue to still try to win the game, though, as Huntley gets a stretch to the outside here, gain of 5. And on 2nd and 5, we'll bring out what I'm going to coin the red zone set here. This is a really good formation for when we get down to the red zone. We'll see if Smart can leak all the way across. Kind of gets the break. Nice throw there from Cone. Stretches and in. Our first touchdown comes about midway through the 3rd quarter. But we're drawing this game closer. And we might go for 2. And every now and then, we'll just see some really nice passes from Cone. Or not from Cone, from, did I say Cone threw that touchdown? It wasn't. It was by Tyree Jackson, as Kalinick will get the 2-point conversion, making it a field goal game. But yeah, sometimes Tyree Jackson will come out and he'll throw a really nice ball. He's not really a main, like, actual quarterback for us, primarily a running back that we use at that quarterback spot. But he just continues to get the job done when he has the opportunity. 2nd and 6. We're going to bring down the press, even though I said earlier I need to stop doing that because I don't really have great press corners. Works out in our favor, though, because they go with a run. 3rd and short here. They're going to make an audible. Make it trips to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. We're going to send Toney off the edge, and a quick throw will be a 1st down to number 86 in Slayton. The Giants know what we're trying to get here with Shaka Toney, and they're calling some good plays to try to limit what he does as they go with a stretch, and we whiff on the tackle for loss. That would have done it. I think his tackle for losses are also counted with sacks, so that could have given him his development boost. Well, let's hope that doesn't come back to bite us as another audible here for the Giants. They're going to set up 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Aikens just off the line to the right as well as they set up a screen pass. Petonio Jones just a second too late. To say Petonio, Benito Jones. I always mess up his name. Another 1st down for Breida. And we really haven't seen much of Saquon Barkley at all today, besides, I think, 1 or 2 plays in that first possession. As they go with the run to the outside, or at least try to cut out to the outside. It'll be a gain of 2 there for Brightwell. And that'll send us into the 4th quarter with a close game, 17-14. We've only given up 3 offensive points. However, we've given up 14 defensive points. So take that as you will as we start the 4th quarter here. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Check that. Going to be an audible. Will end up being a bunch to the left-hand side. Shepard to the right. Breida in the backfield as we send a blitz and they go with a quick pass. Aikens will take the hit and will actually lose a few yards off of that. So at least from where he would have been. So we will take it. 3rd and 5. Another bunch, this time to the right-hand side of the line. Shaka Toney in one-on-one and really good blocking from the tackle and a really good juke there from Shepard as they get down to the 11. But now the field condenses. Can we get Shaka Toney clean off the edge? We just need 1 more tackle for loss with him. They come out with an empty look here. We'll tell our defense to cover, and how many times have we been that close to a sack? And Danny Jones throws out of it. It's got to be at least 3 or 4 times. Looks like they might be setting up a run play here. Indeed they do. Down the middle, cut to the outside. Matt Breida stretching. Nice tackle there from J.R. Reed. Doesn't help him much, at least getting one of the individual stats. It's a run, so we're good for the passing stats as another audible is coming in here. I feel like I want to make an audible as well as they make another audible. So do we go back to what we were going to do? We'll just stick with it. Toney, try to get around the edge, and instead, blitz from the other side at least throws off the play. It'll be 4th and 4. They'll send out the field goal team. And set back to kick. Snap is back. Kick is up. There's the field goal. We'll stretch it to a 6-point game. Make it 20-14. So if we want to play this game smart, rushing yards, 69 for the Giants. We have to hold them to 75 and 1 touchdown or less for Shaka Toney. 200 passing yards or less for J.R. Reed. There is about 6 minutes on the clock. A touchdown for us will win the game by a point if we hit the extra point. So it would be very smart of us to drain this clock, leave next to no time, force them, if we get the touchdown, force them to have to pass the ball, which means they're not going to rush the ball. More opportunity for Shaka Toney to get a sack, and hopefully not enough time for them to get another 73 passing yards. I think that's the game plan. So we'll start by going heavy. 2 tight ends up front, technically a 3rd tight end at fullback. Huntley will get the ball down the middle. And a gain of 3? Not bad. Again, we're trying to milk this clock while still getting a touchdown, leaving minimal time for them to have the ball and to try to get anything going. A nice gain on 2nd down will bring up 3rd and short. And with it being 3rd and short, this is a Borgie situation. So he'll come back out as we go with a spread look to try to minimize the amount of people in the middle. Works out well. And we'll bring Tyree Jackson out. Again, we're trying to keep the defense guessing on where we're going to run. We don't want them just teeing up. As much as we could help it. Williams with a bunch of space to the outside, stay in bounds. I don't know if they're going to count him down or not. The clock is running, so they do. So far working well, knock on wood. About 3.5 minutes left on the clock as we're running down the field slowly. And this might be a little bit too intense here for Cone, but we're going to go with an RPO, and we'll throw it inaccurately. Maybe we shouldn't have. Stoner was wide open, though. Had to give him the opportunity. Unfortunately, Cone has played pretty poorly today as Borgie not able to break the tackle. 4th and 7. Definitely feel like this is a situation we still go for it, though. We'll spread 2 to each side, sitting in the pistol. Game is going to rest in Cone's hands. Going to scramble to the left-hand side. Just tuck it, run, get the first down, and he goes out of bounds, taking the hit, which means we're going to get a nice flag here. Just move us further downfield on Dane Belton. Down to the 21 we go. Obviously that stops the clock, but we're getting to about the 2-minute mark, so that might actually be pretty good for us. Gonna set up another read option here. Try to cut in. Tyree Jackson tried to truck Collins. We'll end up getting a gain of 1, and that'll send us through the 2-minute warning. Staying out here in the red zone offense as we're barely inside the red zone. Once again, going to see if Smart can leak out to the opposite side as he comes in motion. They actually triple cover that side. That's fine by me. How about we go? Oh, are you kidding me, Thibodeau? Oh, you guys saw what I was going for though, right? That was just an amazing play by the left end, which also means they're now probably going to run the ball. Tyree Jackson just needed to loft that a little bit. Kalinick, I believe, was the tight end behind. Could have been a touchdown. Pass just a little bit low. Well, it could all blow up here. Obviously, they still have the lead. But they could get the rushing yards that they need to get. And I believe they just hit it right there, 75 yards. That means Toney really needs a tackle for loss or another sack if we're to get his development boost up to a superstar. J.R. Reed still has the opportunity, now that they're not passing the ball, to still get his, as I doubt they're going to hit 200. Toney lined up against the center here, as it is 3rd and 3. We're being pretty iffy here by saving all of our timeouts, but we're doing what we think we need to do, and they waste all the time. Okay, interesting tactic there from Madden. Well, this could be it. If Toney gets a tackle for a loss on this play, he could get a development boost. Or if we just in general get a tackle for a loss, but yeast with... Okay, well, apparently just in general, we've just given up on tackling. Matt Breida is going to take this one to the house. Really unfortunate. Now they are going for 2. Maybe a sack would count here. I don't know, but they block up Shaka Toney really well. They get a 2-point conversion off of it. They have a 2-touchdown lead. Well, this game will look like a blowout, but it was actually almost in our favor, I would say. Toss this one up. Tyree Jackson going deep to Stoner. Knocked away. But if only we just had a couple more inches underneath that last pass where Thibodeau intercepted it, we might have had something. We'll go deep again. Stoner with the grab, headed down the field as time is expiring. He gets tripped up. We'll call a timeout. I think we have like 0.1 seconds left. Well, looking for a consolation goal here. 2 to either side once again. Tosses one out to Johnson, who gets the catch. And we'll barely get into the end zone at the end. Doesn't help us much, just padding the stats. Some XP goes to one of our receivers and a Cone. But I don't think we're going to be getting the superstar dev boost, unfortunately for Shaka Toney. Really nice throw here from Cone. Put that on the money. But the winning streak is snapped, and against a division foe, they end up with 127 passing yards, so we're good there with J.R. Reed, but 159 rushing yards. About half of which came on that final Matt Breida run that was the nail in the coffin. And now to find out the results. I called it, didn't I? Shaka Toney played a heck of a game this week, and I think he's a lot better than we initially thought. I don't think he got the stat. I didn't think he did. But Shaka Toney is now our first and only superstar development player. Plus he's getting 8,000 experience points. Okay. So he must have had a tackle for a loss or something that I don't remember. Okay, well, what about J.R. Reed? Did he get it as well? Coach, I've put in a lot of work this year, and I'm finally starting to see the results on the field. I appreciate you putting my talents to good use. He did. We figured he would because the defense kept them under a certain amount of passing yards, being 200. And he gets 20,000 experience points. Why does he get 20,000? And Shaka Toney, going up to a superstar, only got 8. That seems a bit imbalanced, but still, that is huge for this series. And that gives us 5 upgrades for J.R. Reed and 2 upgrades for Shaka Toney. Like I said, this could be huge for the series. So J.R. Reed, what do your actual ratings look like? So he plays strong safety, has the hit power. Tackling needs some work. Zone coverage isn't bad. I think we go with 3 for zone and then 2 for run support. That'll probably be a good mix. Zone upgrade plus 3 awareness. Yeah, sure. We'll go again. What do we get this time? Plus 1 awareness with plus 2 zone coverage. We'll hit the zone coverage one more time before switching over to run support. And this time 1 agility, 1 pursuit, and 2 zone coverage. So now 2 more. We'll do the run support. First upgrade, we get 4 ratings. Plus 1 to change a direction, pursuit, and tackle. Plus 2 to play rec. And the last one, run support once again. Up to a 68 overall. Awareness, man coverage, and play rec all plus 1. And plus 2 to tackle. So that leaves him with now a 70 tackle. And 74 with a plus 1 from coaching or morale to zone coverage. So looking really good. Looking like an actual future strong safety of this team. Now for Shaka Toney. He's very much strictly a finesse rusher. 81 with plus 7. He does have plus 2 morale and plus 2 from coaching. So I don't know what all is coming from what. Whether I don't think the coaches can boost finesse moves. So I don't know. All I know is he has some pretty good finesse moves. Has a lot of speed. The rest of it needs some work. But we're just going to keep pumping what he's good at, especially year 1. And we'll try to make him more well-rounded as we go along. Plus 2 for awareness and finesse moves. And for the last upgrade for him, will be plus 2 to finesse moves and plus 1 to play rec. As for his abilities, he actually has to be a true 75 overall to unlock the first one, second one at 85. So he has 1 more upgrade to go before he unlocks his talent. And after simming through the bye week, we'll be playing next episode the Giants once again. So whoever made the schedule, you suck, but it's apparently just going to be Giants week here for the Commanders series. So we'll see if Shaka Toney has a better game now that he's up to his superstar dev. Technically, like I said, hasn't unlocked that ability. I think I said trait. Ability. He has to be a 75 to do that. He's 1 upgrade away. J.R. Reed now up to a star. And we should have Borgie back for his normal role come next episode. So make sure you guys subscribe to see how well Shaka Toney and the others continue to progress and who really grabs a hold of their spot on this team. We know Shaka Toney has, maybe J.R. Reed is as well. Borgie, pretty locked in. All the other spots, kind of a toss-up. So we'll see who stakes a claim for the last 4 games left of this season before we head into our first off-season. So like I said, hit that subscription button and tick that bell icon to be notified of when my videos go live. This series posted every Monday and Thursday with the state-only challenge, currently Texas, posted every Wednesday and Saturday. So make sure you check out both series, and until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye.